Hey guys, what is up my friends? So today we will be doing this video. We will be comparing the Galaxy S4 versus the Galaxy S2 Plus. Now the Galaxy S2 Plus has a lot of things that is kind of the same as the original Galaxy S2, but since a lot of people seem to be picking up this device, we have to do a video about it. So the first thing that we will begin here with is talking a little bit about the price and the form factor, the UI, the full specs, and some other awesome things. So, if we start to begin here, we will be starting off at the price, as I usually do in my videos. We'll be taking a look at the price. So we can see that the price is, it's a big difference in price, of course. You get the price of around on the S2 Plus here at around 200 to 300 British pounds versus 500 to 600 pounds for the new GS4, which is Samsung's flagship device for 2013. So it's a big price difference. You can almost get 3 S2 Plus for the price of one S4. So is it worth it? Well, it's a good question. I mean, if you take a look at these devices at the front side, you can see that we get a bigger display here on the new S4 device. Does it look super much bigger? Well, for most people, probably not, but it is actually quite much bigger. It's 0.7 inch bigger, so a 5-inch display versus a 4.3-inch display. Same display size as the original S2 successful device. And also what we can see here is that they do have kind of the same layout here at the bottom. You have a home button, which is have a little bit different design here on both devices, and it points out a little bit more here on the S4. And then we do have normal menu keys here on the left side, and then the back key on the right side. If you take a look at the top here, 2-megapixel camera on both, and also we get the bar meter, humidity, and gesture sensors on the top of the Galaxy S4. So you will be able to control the device over here with using some gestures with your hands. New features like quick glance and etc. And also the button layout is same here with the power on button at the right side and volume up and down keys here on the left side. If you take a look at the bottom here, same there, micro USB. And then also when we take a look here at the top, we can see a headphone jack there located on different sides. And then also we do have an IR port here on the Samsung Galaxy S4. So we can control our TV or our box with that. If you take a look at the back here, you can see that we do have this like a shape here at the back here, and at the bottom of the S2 Plus, same as with the original Galaxy device, you have the speaker there also located at the bottom. And then also we still have the removable back, so you can insert an SD card in both these two devices and also extend the battery. So I've already been checking out some extended batteries for the S4 that doubles the battery life, so you can check out those videos if you are interested. And then we also do have the camera here located at the top, an 8-megapixel camera over here versus a 30-megapixel camera over here. So of course way higher resolution. I did take some pictures, so we can also take a quick little look here at over there. So that's of course is very good. If you take a look at now at the software, we get some different software features here. First, we do both these devices do of course run Android, but you get a newer version of Android on the S4, Android 4.2 versus 4.1. But Android going from 4.1 to 4.2 is still Jelly Bean. So we still have the same a lot of the similar features. TouchWiz 5 is what they're calling it here on the S2 Plus, and that was actually an update from the original Galaxy S2, so they've updated that. They also inserted NFC, so that could be pretty good as well, and some other nice features. But TouchWiz 5 on top here, Samsung's own custom UI that you usually use on top of Android, versus the Samsung Galaxy S4 here, which is having a Samsung's TouchWiz Nature UX, which do feature some new apps like the S Health app that takes advantage of the new sensors in the Galaxy S4, like the bar meter and that other sensor that I did mention. You also have some other updated apps but overall there is not a massive difference there, so that could be good to know. But if you take a look at here at the lock screen, you can see here that you do have an option here. You have a little bit more freedom here on the S4, because first of all, we can have more apps down here. As you can see, you can launch apps from the bottom, but then you can have a custom message here on the S4. And also what you can have on the S4 with the latest version of Android is you can have custom apps here that you can just swipe to either open up your favorite apps over here without even having to unlock the device, or you can quickly launch the camera. So that is of course a feature that's not available right now in the S2 Plus. So I did take some pictures that we will take a look at, but the camera of course is amazing on the S4, coming with features like DuoShot, and also it's adopted a Galaxy Cameras UI here with some pretty cool modes like the drama shot, the sound shot, the best face, the beauty face, the best photo face, and the night mode if you want to take pictures during the night, and some other awesome features. So that's a cool feature there in the lock screen. And also if we go down here from the top, you can see here that we do get more options here in the quick toggle section, way more options here in the Samsung Galaxy S4. We also do have an option here with Android 4.2 here that we have this little button that we can tap, and we can quickly disable and enable stuff we want here if you want to add more custom things in this area. So here you can see if you want to enable the brightness adjustment, if you want to disable it, you can also do so. If you take a look at the settings area here, also we do have a different kind of layout, where on the S4 they have made it easier with more of a tab system at the top, so you can quicker access stuff like the account stuff, my device stuff. If you want to change anything with your device, that's just the place you go to. If you have some more advanced stuff you want to check out, you can just go into here and go to about device or something. While you have to scroll a little bit, you used to have a scrolling section here on the S2. Maybe not be a big deal for you, and I don't think so either. And I still think that Samsung needs to update this settings area, which still looks like Android 2.3, which is a little bit boring over there, personally. We can also see the new features here on the S4, like we do have the new air view, and also we do have some new motions and gestures that you can use these air gestures on top of the screen. And I've already made a video about that you don't even have to touch the display, but it will notice that you want to do stuff like air call, accept, air move, air browse, air jump, quick glance. So that is pretty nice. And if we check out some more things here, we can check out the app drawer here, which also still looks pretty much the same here. You can just install your apps as usual, and the widgets section here also should also be kind of similar in the things that you are getting over here. Now also, if we start to look at some specs here, some key things that's better with the S4 here is that you get it in a 4G variant actually. So it comes in a 4G variant, which is, if you're on a carrier, making it faster and everything. So that of course is a lot better. The S2 Plus is a little bit lighter here as a device itself. And that may not be super weird for you, because it is actually smaller here in its form factor, and that's of course because it's not as big, and then it doesn't have as big battery also. So it's a little bit lighter here in terms of its weight, but both have the same kind of plastic feeling. Even though I do prefer this nice design update from the S3, that it do have a wider sides here. That kind of, it's not aluminum, but it feels better than on the S3 personally, because it's easier to reach the buttons or to feel the buttons with the wide side, just as Apple has with their iPhone 5 and Asus have with their Asus Padfone 2. And also, if you take a look at the screen quality, you get Super AMOLED screens on both, but it's a little bit higher resolution on the S4. So it's a 5-inch display with full HD resolution versus 480 x 800, same as with the original S2 on the S2 Plus. You also get some new protection here on the Galaxy S4 with Gorilla Glass 3, beating probably the first generation Gorilla Glass that you would get on top of the S2 Plus. And also, if you talk about storage here, you do have some more options on the S4 that comes in 16, 32, and 64GB variants, and also 2GB of memory in RAM. So you'll be able to use way more heavier apps at the same time. And then also, it's good to have 16, 32, and 64GB variants plus the SD card option. Of course, you also have the SD card option on the S2 Plus, but the tricky thing here is that first you only get 1GB of RAM. I don't think that's going to be a major deal for most people, but the thing is that there's only an 8GB variant of the S2 Plus available. Now, I'm not sure about you, but from what I've seen, it costs around the same as the first generation S2 that do have a 16GB variant, but it's pretty expensive here. One of the reasons is because it comes pre-installed with an NFC, so you can do NFC mobile payments with your device, but not just that, but it also comes with the latest version of Android. So for lazy people, that could be a thing there that they do enjoy. HSDPA speeds of 42 megabits per second on the S4 versus 21 megabits per second on the S2 Plus. I also get a new version of Bluetooth inside of the S4, so you might be able to use some new accessories that have support for Bluetooth 4.0, while you get Bluetooth 3.0 inside of the S2 Plus. And then also I did take some pictures with the camera that we can take a quick little look at over here. So we'll be taking a look at some quick little pictures here that I did take. First of all, we can see that, of course, megapixels is not everything, but they will bring a high resolution, and the S4 has the advantage over there. So I'm just gonna go and tilt my screen. So the first thing we can see here is definitely that we can see, first it seems like we have a bigger, better field of view, so we will see more at the same distance on the S4. Also, if we zoom in here a little bit, seems like the picture I did took on the S4, it was a little bit shaky on this one, but on the AMOLED displays it's pretty much, it's not a super big difference here, because both have amazing screens. And okay, this was a shaky image, but overall you can see that the image quality is a little bit better here. Colors looks a little bit more accurate here, and a little bit grayish here on the S2 Plus. See? Huh. What? Okay, that is interesting. Huh. What have happened? Did it lock down? What? Okay, that was weird. That was super duper weird. I'm not sure why that did happen, but for some reason it didn't want to work. Weird. I have updated to latest software, so maybe some kind of glitch in the gallery or something. That was weird, my friends. That was super duper weird. Okay, so I did take another picture over here, and this time again we can also see a difference here in terms of quality here, that it's better on the S4, because white looks white here, while it has a little bit more of a bluish tint here on the S2 Plus. And then lastly, I did have another image here, which I thought was kind of interesting because first, yeah, we have a little bit better of a field of view here. But if we go in a little bit here, you can see that seems like we do see some more details here on the S4, but I'm pretty sure which one I like the most because you get some kind of interesting here. But of course, this picture was made on a screen, so that could affect. But this is how it looks like. I'm not really sure how to explain it. But overall, you can see that the sharpness here is better on the S4. And you can especially see it over here. Black looks more black and white looks more white. And also if you go up here, you can see a difference here in terms of sharpness, in terms of colors, that it looks better on the S4. It's a little bit like it looks washed out here on the S2 Plus. Still pretty decent camera though. And then of course you do get a ton of more features inside of the Galaxy camera or the Galaxy S4, because that's adopted the Galaxy Camera UI, so that you did have all those modes and that you can have a dual shot record yourself and the one that you're looking at. Maybe a gimmick feature, maybe, or maybe you do enjoy it. So, if we now move on and continue down the line of awesomeness, we will right now go and start to check out some other things. So we'll be continuing on here. In terms of chipsets inside of these devices, like the mother, the CPU, we get the chipset Snapdragon 600 inside of the S4, which is the same as you would get in HTC's flagship device right now, HTC One. So it's a very, very good one over there. Versus, you would expect that Samsung would go with Exynos inside of the S2. S2 Plus, because they always been using that in the original S2, and maybe also in the original Galaxy S device. But most of the devices up to the S4 did use that, but in this one they used the Broadcom BC28155 chipset that seems to be a little bit slower than what you would get in the original S2. Could be a little bit disappointing there. Dual core processor at 1.2 GHz. Versus quad 1.9. Of course, this one will crush, the S4 will crush it in benchmarks and new games, of course, but dual core, I mean, if the price is a big deal for you, it could be decent still. Video Core 4 and GPU also inside of the S2 Plus. We will be taking a look at the gaming here soon. Versus Adreno 320 that you do get in the S4, Sony's flagship device for this year, and also HTC's flagship device for the year. And also some other devices, very, very many devices right now using the Adreno 320 GPU, that it could be nice to know. So we'll also be taking a look at that one in the game. And then as well as stated, bar meter, and temperature or humidity and gesture sensors inside of the S4, so it has some kind of future cool stuff. You do though get the app or an FM radio inside of the S2 Plus here, as you can see over here. And this is not something that you do get in the new S4. Not quite sure why. 2600 milliamps. Now we've talked about battery inside of the S4. So even though it has a high resolution display, better processor, and better GPU, it could probably last you a little longer because the battery is pretty big. Almost 1000 more milliamps than what you would get in the S2 Plus. That shares the same milliamps as in the original S2, 1650 milliamps. So if you now also take a quick look here at the colors when we are inside of the browser. We can see that both have beautiful displays, and for some reason white looks actually I have actually adaptive display on the S4, which can make a difference. That you do get a few more display modes in the S4. So you can see that we do have an option here for screen mode inside of on the S4 as well. So you do have now adaptive display, but then I also have professional photo, standard, dynamic, and other modes that I can try out. And this is not something that I do get in the S2 Plus, and there's probably a ton of other features also that I have missed over there, because it could be many things to cover. But display looks both amazing here. It just looks a little bit more white here on the S2 Plus, but it could be because I have adaptive display that they think that there's another mode that is better. And in terms of going in and out on both browser, it shouldn't really be an issue here. So also, if we check out some quick Kindle also, I mean, speaking about the PPI, you do get twice the amount of pixels in the S2, in the S4 Plus, or in the S4 compared to the S2 Plus. But in terms of reading, I mean, when you buy a device, if you buy a device for like £200, you won't really think too much. You're not buying it to get the best. You kind of know that you won't get the best, but of course you will be able to see and spot a difference here if you go to really small text when reading. When in the normal text mode, I don't think most people will have a problem with the 200 plus amount of pixels per inch that you do get inside of the S2 Plus. So it could also be something that could be very good to know over there. Also if we if we check out some quick gaming, I have a game here. So I have Need for Speed Most Wanted. Let's check it out. It's a nice game. Low. So from my experience, the S2 Plus performs a little bit worse than the original S2, but still good enough to play games like Need for Speed Most Wanted without having to cry. The FPS could be a little bit higher, definitely, but it's really not something that you think too much about. After a few races, you're getting kind of used to it, and you don't have any major problems with it. And I'm so used to the bigger display here, so sometimes I'll touch outside of the display here. So of course you get super stable FPS inside of the S4. I mean, this is the best performance that you can get right now on an Android smartphone, kind of ish. And it's just eye candy with the big display as well. And for me, I always want the latest and I always want the best. This is the way to go. This is how I roll. I mean, like, I want the best cars, the best girls, the best vehicles, the best smartphones, the best geek gadgets and everything. That's why I own 3 MacBook Pros. Yeah. So if you go into more heavier games, you probably will feel struggle instead of the S2 Plus. Maybe in games like Modern Combat 4, you'll probably see some more frame drops, and that could be very, very annoying. So I thought also we can check out some quick benchmarks here, because people always do enjoy that, so we can really see the difference. So we can see a score here of one earlier time when I tried this out. We get so much higher. I mean, it's better. If you say it like that, it's better. It's better on the S4. And then also we do have a heavier 3D benchmark program called 3D Mark. We can check out and use run and see how big difference it is. It's probably gonna be a sick difference. So this will be going on for a while, so prepare. What? Didn't it? Didn't it? Didn't? Did it not work? I didn't see. Okay, guys. So obviously the S2 Plus has too crappy hardware to even get this to work. So one more thing to sum it up here. I mean, like, of course, the S4 is the winner. That's what you should run with. That is what you should go with. Why would you get the Galaxy S2 Plus? Well, it's cheaper. It has the S2 design. Latest version of Android has NFC. Compared to the first version of the S2, it has FM radio. But it has problems with the Play Store. There's a lot of new games that you can't install on this device, and that's a little bit annoying. Like games like Blitz Brigade. Oh, I can't even find it right now. But I tried it earlier. It says it was incompatible, and then there were some other games that were saying it was incompatible, and I was like, what? So what is better on the S4? Basically everything. Battery, CPU, GPU, camera, 4G, storage, everything. But if you don't have the money, I would suggest you just pick up the original S2. Sure, it doesn't have NEC, maybe not have the lasers from Android, but you can update, and it's so much worth it, because then you will have the Mali 400 GPU, and it's just better overall, more support in the Play Store, and better GPU kind of ish, and it's just awesome. So go with the original S2, it's still awesome, it's still killer dope. So if you did enjoy this video, please leave a comment or like. And if you like me, you can subscribe and get videos every day from a geek. Have a good day.